Good day, Cochise County, and welcome to the Michael Zehr Show. Today's date is Friday, March 15th. We're only 2 days away from St. Patrick's Day. We're coming to you from the Rising Eagle Studios right here in the Warrior Healing Center in the great city of Sierra Vista, Arizona. Is the state. And today, my special guest veteran is Les Doc, because that's his road name, because he's a rider with Pleininger. And Les, who do you ride with again? Combat Veterans?
Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association.
All right. So before we start the interview, I want to, again, pay honor to our flag that we just got encased here. So we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance real quick. So if you would. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. So, Les, welcome to the Warrior Healing Center, man. We are so excited and happy that you could come in and take some time and share your story with us this morning here at the center. So, my first question that I always ask is, what was it that inspired you to join the military, and what branch did you join? I already know the answer to the branch, but we'll...
The branch is the Marine Corps. I joined the Marine Corps.
Semper Fi, right? To all the fellow Marines out there.
Right,
yeah.
My brothers and sisters out there.
Yeah.
And the inspiration for joining was in my family, and it's documented very well. My sixth great-grandfather was the last living Revolutionary War vet, Samuel Cook.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we've had members of my family in service from then until now.
So it runs very deep in your family then?
Very,
service
very deep,
to our
yes.
country.
Very, very, very deep, yes.
Wow.
And we take it to heart. We're paying it forward, and we're trying to do our part for our national service to the country is the way we look at it. So yeah, that's where I was at.
And what made you choose the Marine Corps of all the branches?
My father was a Marine.
Okay.
And then later, after he left the Marine Corps, he went to the Army, and his shoes were extremely big. He was close to being one of the walking legends of the Army, and trying to take and follow that would have been awfully tough.
Right.
Extremely tough. So I decided to take and go into the Marine Corps. That and the recruiter was pretty straightforward with me. You know, everybody else promised me the moon, and the recruiter only promised me food, clothes, and a place to sleep. And I thought that was pretty honest, so that's why I did what I did.
And what year was it that you enlisted?
1981.
Did you finish high school and then went in right out of high school, or?
Yes, actually I did. I finished high school. My father was over in Germany at the time on a tour duty there. So I decided I was going to go over there, see him for a little while, and get my mom back together with him. And then came to find out that they were opening the first recruiting office there for the Marine Corps. The Navy, Air Force, and Army had a recruiting office, but the Marine Corps never took stock in it. And then all of a sudden, they showed up. So I was the first recruit to be enlisted from West Germany at the time.
Wow.
And it was something pretty big. It was something pretty big.
Is that is that where your dad was stationed at the time?
Yeah,
or?
my father was stationed there. He was in rocket artillery, is as much as I can tell you.
You're one of the first people
purposes.
I've talked to that have said that they've actually enlisted in the military from overseas. I didn't know.
Really?
I didn't know that was a thing, that you could do that.
Yeah, it is. They do have recruiting offices in Frankfurt, West Germany, or they used to have recruiting
Right.
offices in Frankfurt, West Germany since
Right.
since the pull down over there. I don't know if it's still involved, but they have a huge dependent base over there, and it was one of the things that they made available to kids that were getting out of high school over there at the time. So for me, it was interesting. It was very interesting. It also afforded me some special privileges that not everybody got. Like when I finished my boot camp, I was given 15 days of leave straight out of the boot, and most guys only got 3 days. So I actually got to fly back via Space A to see my mom and my brother and everything, and that was a unique experience as well.
Oh, wow. Very cool. And what does in the Marines, is it MOS as well? I know in the Army it's for your military occupational specialty.
It's MOS. We
Okay.
we just don't use the letter alphabet, number alphabet system. We have 4 numbers. Mine was 0861, which has since been disbanded. It's been broken down into 5 different categories, which was a scout observer. We took it, we called directed fire. I had a little bit more advanced training, and I was able to call in aircraft. I was able to call in naval gunfire, artilleries, mortars, anything that needed a set of eyeballs forward. And then again, too, I was part of the intelligence community, so it was me giving real time intelligence to the people in the back, and they were taking that, and that would develop the battlefield.
Did you ever get to use any of the laser guided systems where you got to paint the target? And
I was a plank holder. When I refer to plank holder in the Marine Corps, if you were the first one to take and use it, you were the guy that was the top of the list. You were the duty expert. So yeah, the MULE system, modular universal laser equipment, is what the Marine Corps picked up, which probably was a 5-man portable, and they said it was 2-man portable, and yeah, we use laser guided systems. I was the first one at 29 Palms to fire laser guided artillery munitions, and then
oh, wow,
we had in theater over in Kuwait, there were some that were used from planes. We were actually painting targets for planes.
Very cool. So hopefully I pronounced this right here. Chela Gutierrez Cervantes says, thank you so much for your service and sacrifice. Very kind.
Thank you, Chela. It really is appreciated. That's probably the best award that any veteran could get, is a thank you. All the medals, all the ribbons, everything else just meant you were either in the wrong place at the wrong time, or you were good enough
doing the right job.
Doing the right job, yeah. But the thank yous, those are the ones that matter the most.
Amen. And how many years was it that you served in the Marine Corps?
In total, with broken time, was 15.
Okay. Can you tell us something like what your favorite duty station was and what made it your favorite tour?
Yeah, and it's probably going to sound really strange, but it was a really great experience, and I got to meet a lot of people. When I first came into the Marine Corps, because of my status, the percentages that I was in my schools, I was given the opportunity to go to Marine Security Forces. What Marine Security Forces does is guard embassies and certain high priority logistical aspects for the Navy and the country. I got picked and was sent to the White House. So
oh, wow.
For me, I worked under President Reagan. Very, very interesting individual. I didn't, in most cases, you would be given what they call a good tour, bad tour. So you got to take and go to places like Barbados and things like that for a year, and then they'd stick you in Kuwait or someplace like that for a year. My whole time was spent at the White House. I was part of the Marine Corps response team for the Pentagon, and it was very, very enlightening. I got to see some schools that I wouldn't have seen. The FBI taught me some things, and got to go through counterterrorism school and things like that most Marines don't get, and got to meet heads of state and dignitaries and people that you wouldn't normally meet on your everyday life.
I always notice when a president leaves the White House on the helicopter, it's always Marines that are there rendering the hand salute as the president is going up the ramp onto the helicopter. Did you ever do any of that kind of duty over there as well? Or?
No, I did guard doors on the White House, and I was at Camp David most of the time.
Oh, you got to see Camp David?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I actually got to play horseshoes with President Reagan.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Honestly. Yeah.
Wow.
Honestly.
That is really neat.
Yeah, it was an interesting thing. He goes, "I'm your boss, so get somebody down here to take the desk." And so yeah, we took him. We went out back, and they
You
took
didn't beat
pictures
him,
of
did you?
twice.
No.
But he's good. Let me tell you, he's really good. He said, "At least you didn't come out here with the thought in your head that I was a president." I said, "Yeah, well, I hope that doesn't affect my promotion either."
Oh. Wow. I bet you got all kinds of stories you could be telling us then about your service there. That is really cool.
I had a really good career.
Wow.
There's a lot of stuff that I did that I'm really proud of, and that happened. But I think the biggest thing for me was the fact that it was a place where I felt comfortable. There were people that let me decide my fate, and I appreciated all of them. Most of my close friends are gone now. Out of the 27 Marines that I knew, there's only 4 of us left. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting, and it gave me the opportunity to become something, to learn diligence and respect and commitment to work and commitment to people, and led to me becoming a veteran of medicine because I was in orthopedic technology for 20 years after I got out of the Marine Corps.
Wow.
So I did both my national service and my community service. I worked in emergency rooms, fixing legs and arms that were broken, and worked with doctors in surgery. I was one of the few surgical orthopedic technologists in the country at the time. I think there was only 11 of us. So I actually helped people with their limbs and surgeries to correct things, and it was always rewarding. It was always rewarding, but I attribute a lot of that and my tenacity to do the job to being a Marine.
Very cool. So looking back on your military service, what is your fondest memory?
The guys.
The guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
They, you don't really realize it when you're in, but when you get out, you start to take and feel it a lot more.
Uh-huh.
The people that were around you cared about you. They took you as family. They made you better. They were there when you were down. They were there when you were up. They gave you a sense of being that you never have seen in your entire life. That whole microcosm of the military. And I'm not just talking about Marines in general. It didn't matter what service you were in or how well you knew somebody. When things were bad, everybody stepped up to help out.
Right.
Like heroes healing heroes outdoors. We come from all walks of life. We come from different places. We're all injured.
Mm-hmm.
And we all get together to help each other. And that's why I'm part of that, is because it brings back that sense of camaraderie, that sense of community that really helps vets out a lot. And it's a hell of a lot of fun. I mean, it's something that I really like doing, and it's something that keeps me viable at 60 years old. I just turned 60 in February,
right.
So...
And too, I think a lot of it has to do with that pride of accomplishment still. That you still have a task and that you can still go out and accomplish a task at our age. So.
Absolutely. And what it does is I mean, if you were to see the smile on somebody's face after they completed their hunt, at that point, it doesn't matter whether they're in a wheelchair or they're like me, where you can take 50 steps and then you have to sit down for 2 hours. It's one of those things where you have the accomplishment. It's like being downrange on mission. Once you get done with it, greatest feeling in the world. Once you've accomplished something, it's the greatest feeling in the world. So it gives them back a sense of their pride and a sense of their feeling, and it gives me the camaraderie that I crave, the
right.
sense of being something greater than myself. that I like.
I've heard so many veterans say that. Something bigger than myself.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
What positive experience did you get from serving in the military that you carried into the civilian sector?
Wow. I'd have to say that I brought with me an attitude of 110% everything I do,
Mm-hmm.
everything I try to do. I always push to excel. There is no. I mean, if you're one of the fans of Star Wars, when Yoda said, "Do or not do," that's what it is. There is no such thing as cannot do for me. It's only do. And if I don't get it right the first time, then I'm back brainstorming it and going to take and get it right the second time.
You ever watch Big Bang Theory?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love that episode where because you know how Penny was always the dumb blonde and all the guys were like geeky and really smart.
Yeah.
And then they had that episode where she quoted Yoda. So when you said that quote, that kind of flashed me back to that episode when they
I remember that. I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. What advice would you give to anyone thinking about joining the military?
Be smart. Do your homework. Due diligence will pay off for you in the long run. Don't just go in because it's a cool uniform. Don't just go in because it's something that somebody wants you to do. Don't do it for anybody else but yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do your due diligence. Figure out what you want to do with your life. And remember, the biggest thing of all is you're not going in until after you get out of school. Get through school, okay? Get your diploma. The high school diploma is one of the greatest things in the world. It opens so many doors for you. And it did for me. It got me into the Marine Corps. After the Marine Corps, I went to college. I have 3 degrees.
Do they let people join the military now without the high school diploma if they take the equivalency?
I'm not altogether sure.
Yeah.
I think there's something in place where they have to take and pass a high school equivalency.
Okay.
Or they have to, within so much time, procure a diploma from an adult school or something like that. I'm not exactly sure about the recruiting efforts these days. And with the way recruiting is these days, it's kind of hard to take and even think that they wouldn't take somebody without a diploma. I mean, we're hurting so bad for men and women.
Yeah.
It's sad to see that we're over 41,000 short of the mark for the Army, and now we're finding out that the Marine Corps is over 30,000 short of the mark. I understand where a lot of young people are at, but believe you me, when you have no direction, when you have no thought process outside of high school, the military is one of the best things you can do for 4 years. It gives you so much if you accept what's in front of you and take charge. It's a thing that a lot of people really can use, whether it be for the discipline or whether it be for the sheer fact of having served with an honorable discharge at the end. Then you've got 2 pieces of paper, your high school diploma and your honorable discharge, that make you viable. It's something that everybody should consider.
And employers see that as a value too.
Absolutely.
If you have the DD 214 and a high school diploma, and
absolutely,
yeah, definitely.
And the higher, I mean, like I said, honorable discharge. I have 2, and I'm telling you right now, it's made doors swing wide open for me. Okay, it's also given me things that I would have never thought of, as far as benefits with the Veterans Administration. And the Veterans Administration under Chapter 31, which is Veterans Re-Education Program, got me 3 degrees in law enforcement.
Wow.
And I didn't pay anything.
Your family too. Get
absolutely.
Chapter 35 benefits for college.
Absolutely. And if you're not going to use those benefits and you get those benefits are afforded to your children.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you lose them. It's just something that you have in your pocket. One more thing that you can take and use to better your life and get ahead. I'm not a recruiter. I'm not going to claim to be a recruiter, but I'm going to tell you right now, the positive impact that the Marine Corps had on me, I can't thank them enough for it. I really can't. Was it always great? Absolutely not. We had some horrible times, but I can tell you for a fact, the good times far outweighed the horrible times, and thereafter, it was really good for me.
So in the 10 minutes that we have left here for today, I wanted to switch gears a little bit and ask you, how does a Marine, a retired gunny sergeant, right? That's what you said you were, and how do you come to Cochise County? How did you find us? How are we lucky enough to get you here?
Medicine,
really?
Medicine. I was given a chance to work for the U.S. Army at Raymond W. Bliss, which is the hospital on Fort Huachuca.
Yeah, I used to work there on active duty when it was an actual hospital.
I worked in sports medicine there.
Okay.
Because of my orthopedics background, and retired from there too. So it was nice. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about some of your volunteer work that you do within our community. Let's talk some more about heroes, helping heroes outdoors. I said it right.
Yes.
Because I always want to say heroes helping when it's heroes healing.
Heroes,
so,
heroes healing heroes.
So, but it's H3O, a great organization. I've interviewed Gary. I've interviewed Wayne Dubois, outstanding gentlemen that just go out and set these hunts up, as well as now I've had the privilege and honor to meet you and understand that you do that. So tell us what it is that you do within the organization.
I'm a volunteer within the organization. What I do is I take and I go out and assist when I can with hunters in all capacities, whether it's out there glassing for them for their hunt, for what they're going to hunt, or whether it's getting them set up, or I've been referred to as a Renaissance man, so I don't know if that's true or not, but I was also at one time a cook, so I'll even cook for these guys.
Okay.
The chef's background came in handy.
I hear the campouts are quite fun.
Oh, they're awesome, man. I mean, you get to sit around with guys that have been in the same shoes that you are in. Some with a little bit more, and some with a little bit less. But you can talk. You don't have to worry about anything. You're out there and you're having a good time. You're sitting around a campfire. It's just great. I was fortunate enough when I got into this organization. I was fortunate enough to take and be drawn for an elk hunt last year, up by Clint's Wells, which is fairly close to Sedona. Not really close, about an hour east of it, but it was beautiful. We were up in the woods. I met Gary there. I met Craig there, who's one of the officers in H3O. Randy I met there. Chris Steiner I met there. And they really made the best out of 2 weeks that I've ever had in my entire life. It's something that I will never forget. We did all our homework and went through all the paces, and then we sat on blinds because of my mobility issues, and had a really good time. The camaraderie that those guys showed me, the fun that we had, and we do some really good ribbing too. Trust me, it's just like being in the military.
Then too, Wayne
amazing.
and Gary showed a picture of like an ATV that was decked out, where the veteran that's doing the hunting could actually lay down on top of the
roof. Yeah,
I thought
absolutely.
that was pretty cool.
So like we have one veteran who had no legs.
Mm-hmm.
We, in the spirit of being veterans, we took and we hoisted him into the vehicle, put him on top of the roof. He took up position with a rifle on the roof, and he got his first deer, and it was amazing. Then we threw him back inside and took him down to where he had harvested the deer at, and it was great. It was great. These guys are really, really special people.
Yep.
They think nothing of themselves. They do everything they can. They've got backers that really are amazing. I mean, huge companies that really help them out with all kinds of gear. And then the guys themselves. If you wanted to go on a crossbow hunt because you could legally crossbow in Arizona, and you didn't have a crossbow, I've got 3. I'll be more than happy to bring one out, and would not care one bit if it was broken during the hunt. It doesn't matter to me, just as long as the guy who has it is having the greatest time of his life. That's all that matters. It's not just guys either; it's girls too. So
Right.
you gotta remember the ladies. The ladies who served well. So don't forget them.
I don't remember the name, and I'll keep it short, but I love the story that Gary and Wayne were telling me about a veteran that they helped. And the gentleman was struggling mentally, physically, and he felt worthless, and he couldn't help and provide for his family. And he got with H3O, and they took him out, and he went out and he got a kill, and they were able to help him, strip the meat and everything, and then he was able to provide food for his family, and
Absolutely.
it was such an uplifting experience, and it made him feel empowered. It made him feel like he accomplished something.
All these programs do.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's the.
I just love these stories.
It
I
is.
do.
It's. Now we call ourselves veterans.
Right.
So, my rank, the guy that's next to me rank, it doesn't really matter. We all know who we are. But now we're veterans. We're all on the same plane. And the only goal we have as veterans is to take and help the less than 1% of the population of the United States that are veterans to stay out of the 22 zone, is what I call it.
Mm-hmm.
I have experiences with that. Close friends who decided that it wasn't good enough to try and stick it out. I don't want to ever see that happen again. I don't want to ever see that happen for any veteran. I don't care who they are. So these programs are very unique. They're very fun.
Suicide's not the answer.
No, it's not. It's not. It definitely is not. It leaves holes in people's lives that cannot be repaired.
And it's a ripple effect.
It is, absolutely. And it does affect veterans in a different way too, because it starts to make them think, well, maybe he was right, and that's the wrong way to think.
Right.
That's the very wrong way to think. You're important no matter what, as far as the veteran's concerned. You wrote the check for no less than your life when you signed the paperwork to enlist. And as a veteran, you should take pride in that fact. If nothing else, you were the one that stepped forward and said, I'm going to take and keep it real for the weak. So make sure that if you got somebody that's having those problems, you get them in the right direction. There's phone numbers, there's people you can call. The Warrior Healing Center will help you.
Yep.
Just make sure that you get them where they need to go.
Just come in, fill out an intake, and the process of healing starts. And there's just so many good volunteers that work here at the Warrior Healing Center, and that's their main goal is to help provide the needs for the veteran. So, one last thing I want to ask you about was the other organization we were talking about that you volunteer with. It's the Combat.
I'm a member.
You're a member.
Yeah, I'm a full member of the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Organization.
Tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
The best way to find out about that is tomorrow, Saturday, at 8:30 in Tombstone at the VFW Hall. We're hosting our 9th annual event, which in essence is the 10th anniversary because we don't count the inaugural event.
Okay.
We've been raising over $30,000 a year for veterans here in Sierra Vista, Tombstone area. All the money and proceeds go back to the community. We're a motorcycle veterans organization. All of us are veterans. Our probationary period, if you want to call it that, was our combat service, and that's how you become a full member. Don't be discouraged, though, if you're not a combat veteran, because we have auxiliary positions and support positions that are filled by people with DD-214s and their families. We do a lot. We do wreaths across America. We've been steadily raising money for that, and that goes to the wreaths that are placed on the tombstones in the National Cemetery here.
Wow.
We do rides and benefits. We do any number of things. If you're a veteran that has a problem, we'll even come out and help you set your house up for handicap assists if we can. We'll get people over there to help you if you're moving. And like I said, if you have problems and you are down on your luck, you can even ask for assistance, and if we have it, we'll take and we'll give you assistance. So we do a lot of things for the community. Each chapter that's represented by the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association is a chapter that will help the community that they're in. This doesn't go to a national level. We believe that it starts right here at home, and that's why we like to take and do things right here at home. Just like the H3O, we do right here at home, and we take and we do well. In my opinion, we do very well, and we're very proud of what we wear, and you'll see us.
Right. Well, Les, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story, and I would love to have you and anybody from any of your organizations that you're a member with, if you have any upcoming fundraisers or anything that you want to promote or talk about, I would be more than happy to help you guys with that. Okay.
That would be awesome. We really appreciate that.
Sure,
Absolutely.
Sure. That's what we're here for, to help and support each other. I'm going to let him cut out because he has to head on to work, and I don't want to make him late. I have a few announcements I need to read. So again, Les, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. You too, sir. And I'll talk to you again later, all right?
Okie doke.
Okay. So some of the events that we do have coming up here at the Warrior Healing Center on Monday, March 18th, starting at 1,800 hours and going to 2,000 hours, we have the legal and finance seminars, and they're doing the estate and contingency planning 101 at the Warrior Healing Center main conference room. Again, Les, thank you so much, brother,
Thank you
for coming in.
Remember
Appreciate
tomorrow at 8:30.
Yes, sir. 8:30 Tombstone, American Legion. On Tuesday, March 19th, starting at 0900, going to 1,200 hours, is the Healing with Art. And it's Resist This is what it's called, is the subject. And it's at the Warrior Healing Center main conference room. We have the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, who Les was talking about. They have a meet and greet coming up on Tuesday, March 19th, starting at 1,800 hours, going to 1,900 hours, and they will be meeting at Native Grill and Wings. And we have on Wednesday, March 20th, starting at 0830, the Velovets Sierra Vista Group Ride, which will be taking, they will be meeting at the Pueblo del Sol Country Golf Club parking lot over there off of, I think it's St. Andrews Road. And on Thursday, March 21st, we have the Bagels and Brew starting at 0900 going to 1130, and that will be here at the Warrior Healing Center. I really thought Bagel and Brew was yesterday, so I was so happy to find out that it's next Thursday. That means I didn't miss it. So that made me really happy to hear that. Again, if you are interested, if you're a veteran and you would like to come in and share your story of service to our country, commitment to our country, service and commitment to our community, I would love to have you as a guest. And you can email me. It's real easy. Just send me an email at mikez@warriorhealingcenter.org. And in the subject, just put in like live stream interview. And give me your contact information. I'll reach right out to you and we'll get you on the schedule. Because there's nothing more important than telling these veterans' stories and getting them online for others to be able to watch, especially in the future. One of the things that I just love about doing these interviews is when we're dead and gone and our grandkids are here and they want to know, what did Grandpa or what did Grandma do when they were in the military? They will actually be able to go onto YouTube or Warrior Healing Center Facebook page, if Facebook hopefully is still around by then. Oh, no, I know. Anyhow, what I'm saying, though, is it's history. And it's these stories, they mean a lot, and they matter. And the fact that they can be up there for future generations to see, I just think that's outstanding. So again, in April will be starting my 4th year of doing these interviews. So I've been doing quite a few of them. I really enjoy doing it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Or if you're watching on the live stream later, or if you're watching the replay, have any comments or questions, put them in the comment section. We do monitor the comment section. We would be happy to respond there as well. Again, thank you, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you again next Friday with another special guest veteran. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.